Hey everybody, how are y'all doing today? We just got back from the funeral, burial, and everything, and I figured I would go live. Make sure my volume's up. Yeah, okay. Make sure this one's down. Hush it. I figured I'd get on here for a little bit, and if y'all remember a few days ago, I showed a video of how the police officers and the security guard treated. Hey Frosty, how are you doing? Treated Lisa Edwards. They're trying to say that the police interaction between them and Miss Edwards did not contribute to her death. So you're telling me that by them not getting her medical attention, that didn't contribute? Good day and have a good. Thank you. Same to you, Frosty. Hey, cool gamer. How are you? So they're saying that it didn't contribute to her passing. So, but you're telling me she's laying there and telling y'all she can't breathe, and not one time did one officer check her out or anything like that? Like, to me, that contributed to the way they treated her. That contributed because people, especially with the problems she had, and if she had things going on that it's saying in this report on my phone that I'm reading, a lot of things they done contributed to that. I seen that video about the lady. Yeah, they're trying to say that the officers didn't contribute to her passing. Okay. So the way she's breathing, and then in the back of the police car, all of a sudden you can't hear anything no more. And he didn't realize that before she was put in there, she tried to tell them she couldn't breathe. Hey, how are you, happiest guy? I'm not feeling well today, y'all. I don't know if it's where I was up all night not feeling well. Like, I had heartburn and everything else. Every time I eat pizza anyway, I get sick for some reason. They really don't. And they arrested her, they say, for trespassing, okay? Because she was released from the hospital and didn't leave the hospital property like they asked her to. She couldn't walk. Even her family says she was physically disabled. Her whole left side did not work. So when she flew in to Tennessee from Washington, she started having, like, not feeling well on the airplane. And she was taken by ambulance from the airport to the hospital here where I live. And her wheelchair was left behind at the airport. So when that cop told her to get up out of that wheelchair or whatever it was she was sitting in, or she was going to jail, the one at the hospital in Knoxville, and she tried to tell him she couldn't, she was arrested because she couldn't walk out of there. He couldn't be human enough to be like, here, let me, where do you need to go? Let me give you a ride. No, instead they're like, well, you're going to jail, and treated her the way they treated her. They do not give a dang about nobody. I'm going to read this report to y'all. Listen to this crap, okay? This is a timeline of what was put out. It says timeline of what led to Lisa Edwards' death and has happened since. Following the death of Lisa Edwards in police custody and the release of videos showing how officers interacted with her before her death, some have raised questions about why officers were not charged or what led to this situation. The following is a timeline of information relating to the situation. Edwards' son and daughter-in-law shared that Edwards moved from Tennessee to Rhode Island around Christmas time in 2018 before she had a stroke in August of 2019. The stroke left her physically disabled and she was unable to use her left side, according to her family. A release from the district attorney mentioned that Edwards was wheelchair bound. Edwards flew from Rhode Island, where she was in a nursing home to Knoxville, and during the flight she began complaining of abdominal pain, according to the Knoxville DA. A release from the DA's office said that once the plane landed at McGee Tyson Airport, she was taken by paramedics to Blunt Memorial Hospital, where she was diagnosed with constipation before she was discharged. Edwards sought additional treatment at Fort Sanders Regional Medical Center, where she was admitted and is observed overnight, according to the DA's office. Around 6:55 a.m., Edwards was discharged from Fort Sanders Regional Medical Center, but she refused to leave the hospital, the DA's office said. According to the release from the DA, Fort Sanders Regional Medical Center security officers issued Edwards a trespass warning for disruptive behavior trespassing before calling the Knoxville Police Department. A spokesman for the Knoxville Police Department said that around 7:40 a.m., officers were dispatched to Fort Sanders Regional Medical Center in reference to a woman who was discharged and refusing to leave the hospital. The DA said that the security officers told Knoxville police officers that Edwards had been evaluated and discharged and was refusing to leave. After officers asked Edwards to leave and she repeatedly refused, they decided to arrest her for trespassing, the DA's office said. According to Knoxville police, Edwards was not handcuffed and she was placed in the back of a police cruiser. The DA's release stated that officers called for a transportation wagon to take Edwards, but they were unable to load her into the wagon because of her mobility issues. After this, Knoxville officers called a cruiser so that Edwards could be more easily loaded. The DA's release said that when Edwards was being taken to the Roger D. Wilson detention facility, the officer transporting her stopped to deal with another motorist and saw that she had become unresponsive. When the officers noticed that she was unresponsive, he called for an ambulance, which took Edwards back to Fort Sanders Regional Medical Center, and she was placed on life support. Knoxville police released to the media that a 61-year-old woman became unresponsive while in their custody and that she had been taken to Fort Sanders where she was in critical condition. Knox police said that the DA's office and the TBI had been notified and that an internal administrative review would be conducted by the Internal Affairs Unit to see if department policies or procedures were violated. The release from Knoxville police also stated that 3 officers... Oh, hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. I don't know what they're going off about. 1 second. Y'all get in here. Get in here. Get in this house. Guess what? Now the door's shut, y'all ain't going out. Y'all want to act silly? Get in there and sit down. Sorry about that. What? Ow. No, I love you too. Go on. Mama's busy. I'll be in there in a minute. Knoxville police released to the media that a 61-year-old woman became unresponsive while in their custody and that she had been taken to Fort Sanders where she was in critical condition. Knox police said that the district attorney's office and the TBI had been notified and that an internal administrative review would be conducted by the Internal Affairs Unit to see if department policies or procedures were violated. The release from Knoxville police also stated that 3 officers and a transportation wagon driver were placed on routine administrative leave. Edwards died at Fort Sanders Regional Medical Center, according to the DA's office. On February 7th, Knoxville police released in an email that the woman who went unresponsive while in the custody of Knoxville police officers died the evening of February 6th. An autopsy was conducted at the Knox County Regional Forensic Center, according to the release from the DA's office. It was released on February 21st. On February 21st, the DA's office said in a press release that Edwards died of natural causes, specifically from an ischemic stroke. It's ISCHEMIC stroke. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that word. Due to atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease. The autopsy report also mentioned that hypertensive cardiovascular disease, morbid obesity, chronic alcohol abuse, acute bronchitis, and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease significantly contributed to her death. The DA's release said that the medical examiner determined that the officers did not cause Edwards' death. Come on now, y'all. Just because they didn't put their hands on her in a violent, and in some situations, that one officer, the way he yanked from her, that was kind of violent to me. I mean, I'm not saying he beat her or anything, but that was, you don't treat somebody like that. Multiple law enforcement videos were reviewed to gather additional context surrounding Miss Edwards' death. From a review of these videos, it is evident that where was I at? Lord. Evident that at no time did law enforcement interaction cause or contribute to Miss Edwards' death. Specifically, Miss Edwards was not beaten by the police, she was never subdued, and there was no physical struggle between law enforcement and Miss Edwards. And there was no restraint, asphyxia, I think is how you say that one word. Rather, Miss Edwards went into cardiac arrest in the back of a police cruiser due to a combination of her natural causes. Because of this, the DA determined no criminal charges would be filed according to the release. On February 23rd, Knoxville police released a relevant video of Edwards' arrest. The release from Knoxville police that linked to the video explained that the video only included the most pertinent video to better inform the public of the circumstances. The involved employees were also identified in the release. The video was released by Knoxville Police on YouTube and is available here. Please note that video contains graphic content and may be difficult to watch. The video shows officers interacting with Edwards before she was arrested. Officers placing her in the back of the cruiser and her in the back of the police cruiser. In the video, Edwards can be heard saying that she cannot walk and saying that she was going to pass out, asking for help, wheezing and sounding confused. Edwards' son and daughter-in-law spoke with News 2 sister station Wait, saying Knoxville police were negligent with no respect for human life. I'm not going to say this person's name, but it's Edwards' daughter-in-law said she watched the video released by police with the Knox County District Attorney and described the situation as absolutely horrible. If I treated someone the way they treated her, I'd be in jail right now, heading to prison, Tim Boyd, Edwards' son, said. Why are they not? I have no idea. Fort Sanders Regional Medical Center stated in an email it was continuing its investigation. The following statement was released. The hospital has been in contact with Miss Edwards' family and expressed our sorrow and soon after their loss. Although we cannot comment on specific details, patients are not discharged from the emergency room unless they are stable. Well, I find that to be false because I've been discharged and I wasn't stable. We have just seen the Knoxville Police Department's body cam footage and are continuing our investigation. But like a hospital saying patients aren't released until they're stable, in my opinion, that's not completely true. Because I told my story on that one video, and I was released several times and really shouldn't be here today. But thank God I am. Just so you know, you don't want to go to jail and have a medical problem. I've seen diabetic people have diabetic coma while I was in there. You tell them you need your meds or medical help, they will. Oh yeah, they're like that here too. They don't care. And just like that one officer kept telling her, you better straighten up before we get you there because they're not going to put up with this. But I find the way they treated her led to a lot of things. I don't care what they say. They may have not have physically set and beat her, but that mouth of theirs, the stuff coming out of their mouth, all that hate coming out of their mouth, that nastiness, I say contributed to a lot of it. It had her heart rate going. You know what I mean? There's She kept asking to be set up. They wouldn't set her up. She couldn't breathe. She was having trouble breathing. They didn't check her vital signs. They didn't do nothing but treat her like she was a nobody. And I believe that they all should sit down with their loved ones, their wives, their mothers, and let them watch the video with them on how they treated this woman. Yeah, they were mocking her. It's wrong. It's wrong. And they're trying to say that they didn't do anything to contribute to it. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Just because somebody don't physically, do something to you, that mouth of theirs can contribute to a lot of things as well. So I don't care what they say. She may have already been having problems, going on, and the hospital didn't catch it while she was in there or whatever, but they made it worse. They made it a lot worse. They did not help one time. They did not care. And whenever he heard her not breathing back there, because don't tell me he didn't hear her all of a sudden get real quiet. You know what I mean? In the back seat of that police car on his way driving. Because I heard him saying, "Hey, are you okay?" And still not pulling over. You know what I mean? So I think that they contributed to it. And I think if there was something that was about to cause her to pass and that hospital didn't catch it, she was just released from that hospital, that morning it seemed like, or something, early that morning. Like, how do they expect her to leave when she can't even walk? And she's in a hospital wheelchair. Her wheelchair was left behind at the airport. Just, they had no respect for human life. They did. Not one time did I see anybody respect her, show her any kindness or anything. Not one time. Oh, I hope they do. I hope they sue them all. And those security guards at the hospital, they were there and involved as well. Those little rent-a-cop people, you know who I'm talking about? They need to be charged as well, or sued, whatever it's going to take, because they need to be held accountable, because not one of them showed her any kindness. They all treated her like crap. Just like when she was sitting, it was like on the back, kind of, what is that transport van thing, when they had her sitting up there and she asked for his hand to be helped up, and he kind of yanked her up, and then she was kind of still holding his hand, probably because it made her feel more secure holding his hand. I'm not sure. She was just looking for kindness, somebody to help her is all she wanted, was somebody to freaking care and help her. And the way he yanked his hand back like she was nasty. How would they, what if somebody treated them like that when they were in medical distress? That lady was in distress. You could see her breathing in the videos, and any officer that supposedly has training, evidently they're hiring officers out of the Cracker Jack box these days. But any officer would have noticed that breathing. I noticed it, and I'm not no medical professional. They didn't care. They did not once care. And I even heard in that video that one officer say something. And I could be wrong, but I'm pretty positive in that video I was listening to, when they were trying to get her loaded and they couldn't, and then that she was laying on the ground, he said something about throwing a white blanket on her and just pulling off, shutting the doors and pulling off. And then the other one said, well, it's too late because we've already got a warrant out on her. Like, are you serious? So they can just treat people like that and get away with it? I don't think so. And I'm not gonna let it happen. Especially where I live. No. I'm right here, so I can make sure to voice my opinion to them. I can't I'm not able to travel other places to voice my opinion, because I ain't got that kind of money, but it's right here. And I will be voicing my opinion to them. I don't know why I feel so horrible today. I went to jury duty last year, and the police beat up a man. They broke his leg and ankle, slammed him on. What? We got to watch the video in court, and he kept saying he was hurt. See, they don't care. It's like, don't get me wrong. There is officers out there that do care. There are. But I mean, some of them, there's things they do that we don't know about because some people don't speak up. Some people don't. And I guarantee you, I'm sorry to say this, bless her heart, if she wouldn't have passed, we would have never knew about this video. I guarantee you it would have never came out because they hide so much. It's sad. They hide so much of how they treat people. They think just because they're behind that badge, they have the authority to treat people however they want to treat them. And it's wrong. It's wrong. I'm telling you, they're hiring them out of the Cracker Jack box, y'all. I don't think they're putting them through the correct training. I think they're just hiring anybody at this point, and it's not right. Something needs to be done. And if we don't start holding these officers accountable, it's going to get worse, y'all. It ain't going to get no better. So I don't trust them. I mean, I know there's good ones out here. Don't get me wrong, like I said, but especially after seeing that, would I want them taking care of my granny if something happened? Nope. So he sued them and won $300,000, but he can barely walk now. They messed him. Oh, that's so sad. He should have owned that police department. There's no way. I don't understand treating people that way, and that's why I get upset when I see. And I know I shouldn't get upset because people's their own, whatever. But like on here, like I get upset when I see people treating people a certain way. Like, why can't you just be kind and stuff? Like, there's things, it just gets to me because I don't understand. Maybe I'll never understand because my heart, maybe I just have a different kind of heart than some people. I don't know. No. They tried to get me to do it. I think it was it last year or the year before last, and I got out of it. I couldn't do it. Thank you, big homie. I'm kind of feverish. I don't know what's wrong. But it's sad, and I pray that her family does what it takes. I don't know if I can. They done protests. I didn't know they were doing protests out there and stuff for her. But there was protests going on and everything. So, while charges were not filed against the Knoxville police officers and transportation wagon driver, Allen shared that the police videos were taken into consideration. There was no. It says there was not proof. Well, I'm guessing they're saying that there wasn't proof to prosecute a case. But let me be clear that in no way do I condone the actions of the officer. It said the officer. It should say the officers. I believe that what I saw on that video showed officers that displayed a gross lack of compassion, a gross lack of empathy, and am in no way condoning the way Lisa Edwards was treated, Allen said. Allen also added that the hospital cannot be criminally charged with anything from the case. However, the behavior on the part of the hospital could be looked at as a civil lawsuit. My expectation is that our officers treat every person they encounter, regardless of the context or situation, with respect, dignity, and basic decency. We should also take pride in helping those who need it. Yeah, well, obviously the officers aren't very good at doing what you're saying. I didn't want to go to jury duty, but I got selected out of 50 people. I got paid for my time, but it was kind of cool to get. See, it was like whenever I first started going to my therapy is whenever I had a letter about jury duty, but the way my anxiety and stuff was, like, I was really nervous about it and stuff, so my therapist wrote a note, so I didn't have to do it because of, my therapy and stuff. But I think I would have been real nervous, but I love to help people get justice and stuff. But like when I first started therapy, I just wasn't in a good spot in my head. So I don't think it would have been good for me to go there because I would have been instantly, you're guilty, you're guilty. So no, I wouldn't have been like that. But, you know, I'm usually pretty good at pointing out, and I don't know what it is about me, but like if I feel like there's just certain people, and I don't know. I think it's from what I've been through, and I can usually spot it out, and I can tell when somebody's full of crap because I have seen people personally get away because they're such good liars that they get away with things they do because people out here think they're these big heroes and all this other stuff. They would never do such a thing. No, you get vibes from certain people. Yeah, I'm real good at pointing somebody out, and a lot of it is also like uh, I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's weird. It's like I just get that feeling, and I get sick to my stomach, and it's just. But I believe all those officers should have been charged for how they treated her because they're trying to say natural causes, that she passed from natural causes. They contributed to that. I don't care if she already had existing problems, they contributed. They did to her passing. Because if they would have got her the help she needed, she could still be here today. You know what I mean? And if that hospital, they need to look into it real good to make sure that hospital checked her out in every way they could have. Because just like I said, that one hospital where I almost died, that I kept going to, and they kept telling me it was in my head, wasn't nothing wrong with me. And I'm telling them my heart's coming out of my chest, I can't breathe. And they didn't check me out right, and they kept releasing me. And I swear, it was about a week or two straight. I was going there by ambulance every day in that hospital. And it took me to go to a hospital hours away. And they didn't even know how I was still alive. They said I should have been gone, They were amazed that. But that's because I don't know, I've always been strong and try to push through, I fight, you know. But she didn't have the strength to fight what she was going through. You know what I mean? She didn't have that in her. And she knew it. She kept telling them, y'all are going to let me die. Y'all are going to let me die. Mm-mm. That's the problem. They think exactly. They think people like us are crazy. Nope. But poor man, it breaks my heart. Just like I just don't understand, and I don't know why it crossed my mind today too at the funeral. Like I'm trying to hold on to Granny because she's bawling, and trying to hold on to Aunt May. She's Granny's sister, and she's upset. And I have two hands, and I'm trying to hold on to other people crying. Just show compassion, man. Like show that you care. It's good to have two doctors. Good. Yeah. My throat hurts. I pray I'm not coming down with something. Yeah, it is. But it's just sad because she didn't. I guess she was moving here to live with a friend, is why she flew in. She left the nursing home and came here, flew in here, and went straight to the hospital by ambulance from the airport, and then went to another hospital. And I don't think if she would have, wouldn't have, I think she felt, she could feel something's wrong, something's not right. Or she wouldn't have went to another hospital. You know what I mean? It's sad, and This world truly lacks compassion. It lacks so much. This world is going to hell. And I'm sorry to say it, but it is. And if we don't do something about it, it's not. Mm-mm. Oh, Lexapro? Yeah, Lexapro. They prescribed me that before. But I have heart issues myself, so yours don't beat like that no more. Well, see, on top of anxiety, I have heart issues. It's I don't know, hypertension stuff. I don't know. I know half of it doesn't pump. Like, I have, it's like upper left atrial enlargement or something like that. And I don't know if, like, whenever I had blood clots in my lungs, if that eventually led to me having heart issues. But sometimes I go to this one doctor, and sometimes it bothers me. They do have me on medicine. It's supposed to slow down my heart rate because I have an extremely high heart rate. It's like in the 160s, and they tell me I'm on the verge, of having a heart attack or stroke or something. And like even the medicine I'm on, it says it's to prevent me from having one or whatever. But my doctor sometimes tries to tell me it's my anxiety is why my heart's like that. But so I'm on all this medicine, anxiety medicine, because the doctor I go to ain't a heart doctor because I don't have insurance. So they don't really understand it all. Like, because I got diagnosed with my heart issues back whenever I was admitted to the hospital for a while. And that's when all that started. But like, when I can walk a certain distance and I can't breathe still. And I don't know if my lungs are damaged, like if blood clots can cause you to have problems down the road where you just can't freaking breathe when you walk and your heart's coming out of your chest. And but the doctor I go to, I mean, I guess they can try to understand and stuff, but they don't. And I don't. I just don't have the money to go to a doctor for my heart or any of that. But they do prescribe me medicine, but it doesn't help. Like my other meds, like for anxiety and depression, I haven't taken them in a while because, well, I say it's been a little over a month because they don't help me. I got the C word, and Lord, I'm praying that's what I don't have right now. For about, oh, but because I guess one of the family members that was at the funeral actually has actually tested positive for it the other day, but they weren't sure because I think she took it and tested positive, then another one showed negative, and another one showed positive, and she wasn't feeling well. But I'm hoping it's where I didn't sleep at all last night. I was up all night, just not feeling well. You ain't got no insurance. It's horrible not having insurance because you can't see like the right kind of doctors or nothing you want to see, like, and get the right help that you really need. And don't get me wrong, like my therapist, it's she's amazing and stuff, but I haven't seen her since I think it was December because I missed my last appointment and I just ain't remade it. But it's only because I feel like I go to her. Oh my god, they scare me when they bark. I go to my therapist, but I don't talk to her about the things I should talk to her about. You know, I talk to her just like, hey, and try to act like everything's okay. So that's why I just haven't remade my appointment. I should. I need to, but it's just hard because it's like, why am I wasting her time whenever I can't even talk to her about the things I need to talk to her? Them tests ain't accurate. Yeah, I did. That's what a lot of people said. They ain't accurate. Hey, Cal. What are you doing, bud? So, I don't know. I know I'm not feeling well, but I think it's a lot of times when I eat pizza, for some reason in the middle of the night, I start getting sick. And so last night, like we got home so late from the service at the funeral home and stuff that I just popped one of those little circle pizzas. I didn't even cook it in the oven. I put it in the microwave and folded it like a taco and ate it. And I was sick all night. And I don't know if I'm just not feeling good because I was up all night and didn't get no sleep or what. Pep's mom. GERD? What is GERD? Hold on, I'm going to have to look that up. You'll learn. If you're new here, I don't know what a lot of words mean. Oh, GERD. Yeah, I get like every day I get heartburn, and we've been out of heartburn medicine almost a week now. But it's just because we just can't afford it right now. Gastric reflux disease. See, and y'all know what's weird too. Whenever I eat, sometimes, almost all the time, my food it's like it gets stuck right here, and it's painful going down. Some people are like, just chew your food better. I do chew my food. What are you talking about? I do chew my food. And I'll take a drink and I'll drink, and it's like the drink is trying to push my food down. It's so painful, y'all. I don't know why it does that. But yes, Pev's mom, I think I do have that because it's awful. And it's every time I eat pizza. I end up vomiting in the middle of the night and everything. And last night, without heartburn medicine, y'all, I could not. It was so bad I couldn't sleep. My best friend's name is Lisa Edwards. Oh, she lives in Florida. I bet she's beautiful, ain't she? It's. I honestly can't believe how she was treated. Pep's mom, did you see the police video from the other day? Tomato sauce. Well, see, I can eat spaghetti and certain things in it. I mean, it gives me heartburn, but usually I have heartburn medicine. But pizza, it just goes into overtime. You did see it. It's sad. Like, how can they say they didn't do anything to contribute to her passing? I'll never understand it. When I eat pizza, the GERD wakes me up. Oh, really? See, it don't. My mouth just, I have heartburn. I'll have heartburn really bad when I eat pizza. And my mouth, before, not being nasty, y'all, but before you get sick, your mouth starts doing that water thing. I do. Well, see, I don't like white milk. I have to drink chocolate milk. But I drank 2 little glasses before I went to sleep, before I went and lay down, because I knew what was coming. Oh, no, I know nothing about this. Oh, okay. Well, they, I don't think I can pull it. If you go back a couple videos, it shows the whole police interaction, and it was, yeah, I do not like goat milk. Now, you can make some good caramel and stuff out of goat milk, but I will not drink goat milk. I hate white milk too. Just hold your nose. That stuff's nasty, and it's gotta be really cold. The milk's gotta be like super cold. I can't stand it. It's horrible. Now, like if I eat something like a piece of cake real quick, I can guzzle down some, like just a little glass of white milk, as long as it's super cold. But other than that, if I ever feel like I'm going to need milk, I have to have my chocolate syrup because, not happening. My throat's so sore. And it could be because I've been out in the rainy, because it rained all night last night, and then at the burial this morning, it wasn't like raining or nothing, but it was just stuffy. Only need enough to cook. Eat. Ooh, I don't like cereal. Now my husband, y'all, he can be out there mowing the grass and drink milk while he's mowing. He can drink milk with anything. It does not matter. I don't know how he does it, but And now I can eat dry cereal, but I don't like the milk. And I think what the cereal thing is, I'm afraid it's gonna get soggy. And I don't like soggy bread. I don't want no soggy cereal. Like if I ever was to go to Taco Bell and my tortilla was soggy, I'm not eating it. I can't do all that. I have a weak stomach when it comes to that. But yeah, Peb's mom, the officers in the video, if you ever go back and look, it's they have it released on other news sites and stuff on here too with Lisa Edwards. The police treated that poor old lady like she was nothing. Nothing. And it breaks my heart. And just to think, like, I think it bothers me too to know it's so close to home. Like, if I would have been there, I would have helped her. I would have interfered with how those officers were treating her, and they would have had to either let her leave with me so I can help this woman, or I'm going with her to the jail. I mean, how can you go to jail for not leaving the hospital? No, she wasn't. She wasn't my friend. I have a really big heart, and I love to help people, and especially people in need. You know, I mean, I don't have much myself, but if there's anything I can do for somebody, I do it. Like if somebody needs help, I do it. And I would have helped that woman. She was being taken to jail because she couldn't walk. She's physically disabled on her whole left side from a stroke. And she was sitting in the hospital wheelchair. And she wasn't from here. She flew in from another state. And from the from the airport, she went straight to the hospital here in my town. And from that hospital, they discharged her from this hospital and said it was constipation. And so she went to another hospital, a town over, and they kept her overnight and then discharged her the next morning. But her wheelchair was left at the airport. And the officer told her that basically she can get up and walk out of that wheelchair to leave that property, the hospital property, because she was discharged and didn't leave. Which I didn't know you can go to jail for sitting on hospital property, but okay. Or she was going to jail, and she said, I can't. She told them that she couldn't walk, and he said, well, I guess you're going to jail then. So, and if you just watch it, it might make you cry. I've cried watching it. I'm not gonna lie. There's this Mexican candy. It's like caramel, and it's made out of goat milk. They sell it like a jar. I spread it on my bread. Oh, yeah. I think I know well, not the Mexican candy part, but I don't know. We make some good caramel around here out of goat milk. Will you dogs quit the barking? Oh, my God. When that little mama died, I thought it was you. Oh, when the little mama died? Who passed? Which one? I'll have to. I didn't hear about that. Is it the one? I don't remember whose channel it was on, but I seen somebody pass the other day, but I'm not sure who it was. And I believe it was over mental health. It's sad. This sad. world we live in these days, y'all. We really need it needs to change. We got to do something. I'm serious. It's sad, and it breaks my heart that my kids are growing up in a world like this. You know, it's just full of hate, and I don't want my kids learning that stuff, because they do. They come home. I'm not gonna lie, kids are kids. They come home from school and they say certain things, and I'm like, excuse me? Like, you don't say stuff like that. And I try to teach them, right from wrong, but they learn from kids at school and stuff. So whenever mama hears it, mama's going to correct it. And I've always taught my kids, you don't bully, you stand up for the bullies. You don't bully people. You just don't do that. It's a sad. I just don't understand how they're not charging none of them for anything. I hope that family sues, and I swear, and I've already talked to one of the family members, and if they need me, I'll go up there with them. If they're scared to go up to that courthouse or police station or anything by themselves, I'll walk hand in hand with them. Well, they would. Oh yeah, they would have taken me to jail too, but that's okay because I would have been. I don't know. Do they put you in the same cell as people? I would have done it for her. I ain't never been in jail, don't want to, but I would have done it for her. Because she deserved somebody to be there for her. She deserved it. And she had nobody. Not one person on her side. Hi, Cal. What do you want? You want a piece of chocolate, don't you? Go on. But y'all, I'll try to be back on here later. I'm gonna probably lay down for a minute or on the couch or something. I don't know. I don't like taking naps because then I feel like I feel worse when I take a nap. But I'm just not feeling well at all. My throat hurts and everything. So, but I love each and every one of y'all. And y'all, if y'all see somebody in need, stand up and help them. Don't let somebody sit and treat somebody the way that these officers or anybody, period. Just don't let nobody be treated bad. If you see it, say something. We gotta put a stop to this mess. Thank y'all for coming over and everything. I'm not feeling good. My stomach's hurting. My throat's hurting. Maybe if I close my eyes for an hour, I might feel better. I don't know. But I'll do my best to get back on here. Howdy, Hillbilly. How are you doing? But I'll do my best to get back on here later. It just really depends on how I'm feeling because I feel so horrible and everything. You're doing good? Well, that's good to hear. I'm glad you're doing good. Let's see here. But if I hear anything else, about the case, of course, I'll get on here and let y'all know. But as of right now, they're saying that the officers ain't being charged and stuff. So I'll keep y'all updated the best I can on it. And I pray I get to feeling better so I can get back on here and chit chat with y'all a little more tomorrow. See, I can't even think. Later on this evening and everything. Thank you, big homie. Everybody have a great day. Okay? I'll talk to you later.